Good morning. Today we will start with the new lectures. Before that, or starting of this biomembrane, Biochem 606, we should understand first what is animal cell and plant cells and what are the components found in that. So biochemistry, it's called chemistry of living organisms, and living organism contains different kinds of cells, and each cell has a different organelles. So these organelles having a certain membrane bound structure too. So we will start with the animal cells. Animal cells contain first nucleus as well as cell membrane. Animals also contain cytoplasm, and that cytoplasm serve as a reaction medium for control cell activities. Similarly, animal cell contain a nucleus, and nucleus is composed of chromosomes, and that chromosomes are composed of DNA, and that DNA is used for control of cell activities. So there are two ways through which nucleus and cytoplasm both are gives the control of cell activities. If we see these cell activities, it comes from various reaction too. That we will understand. Now what is cell membrane? Cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. Okay. That is used for what? That is used for bidirectional control of material flow and cellular messaging. Now this bidirectional control of material flow and cellular messaging, that comes from what? That is another way through which the organelles such as mitochondria, non-living granules, that is food and material storage, then organelles such as ribosome, that is used for translation of genetic code. This translation of the genetic code, that to make a protein. Okay. Similarly, if you see the mitochondria, this mitochondria is used for oxidative phosphorylation. Now what is oxidative phosphorylation? Oxidative phosphorylation used for the respiration, and that respiration is needed for ATP productions. Now ATP production, that will used in the from cellular activity by the transcriptional, and transcript undergoes the translation of the genetic code, and that genetic codes, translation of genetic code, that to make a proteins. Okay. So this is all about the animal cells, cell organelles, and how it is interconnected with each others. So we have to go in depth for cell membrane, and cell membrane is made up of protein and lipids. What are the different proteins and what are the different lipids? To make a use for the bidirectional control of material flow and cellular messagings. That will very useful for the transcript or transcription, and that is used for, as I say, DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. That is transcription and translation, that will the major reactions found in that. Okay. Now we will start with our original course objectives. Now dear friends, this is the PG course in which what are the objectives behind this So the course title is Biomembrane 2+1, only a theory, 2 lectures. Okay. Objective is to teach us structure and functions of biomembrane, structure-function relationships, and membrane biogenesis. Okay. Now unit-wise I am telling you this is the reference suggested reading. You can read from that book also. Now theory concept in unit total 4 unit is there. So we will start with the concept of biomembrane and their classification based on cellular organelles and physico-chemical properties of different biological and artificial membranes. Then cell surface receptor and antigens. Another unit that includes the membrane biogenesis and differentiation, membrane component, lipid, their distributions and organization. Then what are the protein, intrinsic and extrinsic, their arrangement, and what is the roles of carbohydrate in the membrane and their functions. That will be the one of the topics. Then unit 3, the various membrane movement, transport across membrane and energy transduction. Unit 4, that is role in membrane, cellular metabolism, cell recognition and cell to cell interaction, signal transduction, and finally we will study what is the research achievement in the membrane systems and what are the recent trends related to this. Okay, before that, these biomembrane, you have to understand certain fundamental terminologies. What is biological membrane? By layer of amphipathic lipid molecules in a lipid water surface is the basis of biological membrane. What is the basis of biological membrane? Tell me. A bilipid or bilayer of amphipathic lipid molecules in a lipid water interface is the basis of biological membrane. A critical concept or where are a concentration of certain molecules in the aqueous form that will form a micelles. Micelles or micelles are formed more readily with fatty acid and lysophospholipid, where the polar head has a larger cross-sectional area than that of acyl tail. Now the amphipathic nature of the phospholipid or sphingomyelin, cholesterol that is found in animal cells, yes, and other lipids in the critical significance in the lipid assembly. Now we will see what are the organelles. Now we will see how many types and what are the cell membranes and protoplasm and nucleus or various organelles having a different kinds of membrane structures. So you have to understand what is that. Cell is, as I said, cell membrane, plasma membrane, protoplasm, cytoplasm and nucleus is there. The major component in which what are the, for example, protoplasm or cytoplasm, in there you find a cytosol and cell organelles. Now the cell organelles divide into a non-membranous bound cell organelle and membrane bound cell organelles. Okay. Non-membranous bound cell organelle. What are the non-membrane bound cell organelles? And list there. Then you have to answer ribosome, polysomes, centrioles, centrosomes, basal bodies, microfilaments, microtubules. Okay. These are the non-membrane bound cell organelles. Now, another things, that is membrane bound cell organelles. How many types of? There are two types, single membrane bound organelles and another is double membrane bound cell organelles. Now single membrane bound cell organelles, what are that, and give their example. Then you have to write Golgi bodies, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, vacuoles and peroxisomes. Okay, these are the single membrane bound cell organelles. Now you are in dilemma that how many double membrane bound cell organelles in the cells? Cell organelles are there. So only two, mitochondria and chloroplast. Yes, this chloroplast in the cells also having a double membrane bound cell organelles. Okay, that I will repeat in next 2-3 PPT 2, but we will continue with the lipid bilayers. Okay, so this is about the cell organelles. Now each one's having a certain function too, that will include later on, but we are discussing about lipid bilayer. Okay, in lipid bilayer, in aqueous phase can fold back on itself to produce liposomes. These liposomes encloses aqueous mediums. Now what is the functions of liposomes? Then you have to understand these. Larger lipid droplets enclosed by amphipathic layer of a phospholipid or bile salt in a bulk aqueous phase gives an emulsion. Okay. Now hydrophobic molecules like triglycerides and other lipids are enclosed in the water-soluble lipoprotein complex. This water-soluble lipoprotein complex are transported by the blood to various tissues of the bodies in the human beings or in the animal cells. Okay. So to understand originally the lipid bilayer, you have to understand the lipid first and their properties, how is compound behave with the water, because water is the ultimately a universal solvent through which whatever the molecules is produced and transport inner and outer membrane of this, you have to understand. Okay. So as I said, lipid are heterogeneous group of compounds sharing a single common property of, tell me, in definition you will find insolubility in water. Hence, there is no unambiguous and universally accepted system for their classification. Am I right? So lipid function as a energy storage and structural component of biological membrane. Their amphipathic nature is a fundamental asset at lipid-water interfaces. Now you are in lipid. The component of lipid is what? Fatty acid. Yes. So the fatty acid are important component of many lipids, and these fatty acids yield energy by which pathways? Yes, beta oxidation, isomerism, Is the structure of fatty acid influence the membrane?